Item 10C, adopt a resolution approving expanded promotional incentives for the cable department's direct sales campaign to generate new customers for cable, internet, and telephone services.
Honorable Mayor and members of City Council, good evening. Tenzin Galson, Cable Television Director. Our item before you this evening is to seek City Council approval to expand the promotional incentives for cable's direct sales campaign to generate new customers. As you're aware, the cable industry has seen a slow but steady decline in basic cable customers over the last 10 years due to the state of the economy and the increasing level of competition. San Bruno Cable has been similarly impacted. Over the last 10 years, basic cable subscribers have declined by 4,600 units. However, during the same 10-year period, San Bruno Cable has added 15,000 new units in other core services such as internet, digital cable, phone, HD service, and DVR rentals. Also, we have transformed our business from being just a cable TV company into a telecommunications company serving both the residential and the business community. Up until 2009, except for competition from satellite service providers, San Bruno Cable did not have a true locally present competition or competitor. The introduction of new competition has resulted in a higher level of subscriber churn. Through March, while we added approximately 1,100 basic cable subscribers, 1,800 cable subscribers disconnected, resulting in a net loss of approximately 700 subscribers. Basic cable subscribers are a core component of our revenue strategy and vital to the city's general fund. So growing and maintaining basic cable subscribers is essential to ensuring the viability of the cable enterprise. As such, San Bruno Cable has conducted a variety of marketing initiatives to address the loss in basic cable subscribers, including the recent door-to-door sales program between August and December 2010. Door-to-door sales is a tactic used by all cable companies and even our competitors. The success of any campaign is dependent upon the promotional offer. We try to evaluate the market and develop an offer that sometimes is outcompeted by competitors. When that happens, we just need to improve our offer and remarket it. Staff is recommending that we continue to invest in these type of marketing initiatives to stabilize the basic subscriber losses and regain market share. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to our business manager, Steve Furpo, to provide you with a recap of the recently completed door-to-door campaign and the details of our new campaign that we are proposing.
Thank you, Tenzin. Good evening, Mayor and Council members. The 2010 door-to-door sales campaign yielded 1,970 new service units, but it did not generate any significant number of new basic cable subscribers, as shown in Table 1 of your report. That campaign, as you can see, generated 103 new basic cable subscribers. The sales team was not able to effectively sell that offer of a free first month, free installation, and free activation against competing offers that included longer free periods, greater discounted rates, and cash incentives, such as $100 gift cards. From our discussion with the sales crew and their management, we have learned that prospective customers are looking for a low entry price, no long-term contracts, and some guarantee that prices will not steeply rise over the short term. The proposed promotion consists of fixing the service rate for 3 years, as shown in Table 3 of your report, for the core services, which are digital cable, internet, and phone, and the triple play bundle packages. Even though the prices have been discounted, the campaign prices sufficiently cover the direct cost of providing those services. By setting the offer with a low entry price and fixing the rates for the next 3 years without requiring a contract, we feel that our expanded offer will draw customers who left for competitors' teaser or introductory rates back to San Bruno Cable. Additionally, to match the offers being presented by our competitors, staff proposes that the revitalized offer include other incentives such as HD service and all triple pay packages, a premium service or a foreign language service free for 3 months, and the continuation of the free install and free activation. It's also proposed that a $100 credit be offered to incentivize a switch from our competitors. The promotional period will be for 2 months, beginning May 1st and ending June 30th, 2011. Prospective customers must sign up for service within this window to receive the offer. The offer will be honored only for those households who have not been a cable customer for at least 3 months. Existing customers may also take advantage of the promotional offer by way of a service upgrade. For example, a cable TV only customer may add internet to their service and get the promotional rate. This not only incents an existing customer to take more services from San Bruno Cable, but it also increases revenue and customer retention. Given the short time frame between now and the end of the fiscal year, it is not practical to deploy the door-to-door sales crew. So, as per the advice of the Cable Subcommittee, Mayor Wayne and Councilmember O'Connell, it is proposed that this campaign be conducted through direct mail to all non-cable and internet-only subscribers at this time. Conducting the campaign through direct mail is not only cost-efficient, but it also enables us to gauge the attractiveness of this offer. Depending on the success of the direct mail campaign, City Council may direct staff to continue the promotion through the door-to-door sales campaign during the next fiscal year. The direct mail campaign will consist of 4 postcard mailers during the 2-month period. The 4 mailers with postage are expected to cost approximately $45,000. The community promotions account in the cable operating budget has a balance of $163,000, which is available for funding this proposed campaign. This concludes our presentation. The director and I are happy to answer any questions.
Any questions? Mr. Ibarra.
Here we go. Expensive to do door-to-door. Staff report said $61,000 in commissions and doing the door-to-door, and I experienced one of the door-to-door salesmen, and he didn't impress me at all. Now you're talking about a mailing campaign. Why don't we just go toe-to-toe with AT&T and with these other companies? We've seen what we can do on cable, as far as PSAs. Why don't we do it on cable? Why don't we just do it so that people see that we are, comparing our offers and, our incentives with what is being offered that other people are seeing. That's why they're leaving.
Right.
I haven't seen anyone from the competitors come door to door. I'm getting kind of tired of seeing them on the commercials all the time.
Right. Councilman, they do they're national advertisers, so they can use the television to reach subscribers we don't reach, or we don't need to reach because they're out of our area. As far as doing a campaign for video on our system, again, you're right, that would target our existing customers, which would hopefully keep them with us. So I see a value to that, but we would not be reaching customers that don't have our service, and that's why the door-to-door campaign was done. The AT&T folks are out there. They're doing the door-to-door. They were out there when we were doing ours, and they're out there now. And they have a new campaign coming that's very aggressive as well. So just to address that, yeah, I agree. We could do something along those lines with existing customers to do that comparison. But we need to reach those customers that we don't have.
So just so that I'm clear on it, we don't have the freedom to just plug in commercials on our own system.
We do. We have we have the freedom to plug it in on our own system, which our current subscribers would see.
Oh.
And that's it. That's the issue. Yeah.
So if someone else is watching that same channel, a network channel, they're going to see something else.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah, if they're on
Okay.
satellite.
My next sentence is more of a grassroots thing, because I remember, and Steve, you've been involved in it, we need to be out there in the community more at the community events. We've got a farmer's market starting up, on Sunday. I think cable needs to be out there. Show your equipment, let people stand around, maybe there's a ball game on or something, and they can stop and say, and then at that time you can tell them about our new services, our new incentives. Those are people that may have left. Those are people that, are San Bruno residents just stopping by to buy.
We were at the farmer's market twice last year. Did not result in many sales, but it did result in the good customer contact that you're talking about and answering questions. We do propose to do that again this year. We did the Tanforan event before. Did not result in very many local people even coming to our table, because they're just either they had our service or they were from another city. Yeah, we do plan on doing that. Point well taken.
Okay.
Mr. Medina?
A couple of things. Interestingly enough, I went and spoke to a family who had switched from San Bruno Cable to DirecTV about 7 months ago. And oddly, as I'm having the conversation, found out that they switched from our internet to AT&T's internet about a week ago. I found that as a good reference point in which to try to find out what was driving them to switch. So I have some information, probably won't go into all this about their promos, and I guess we don't want to give them any airtime. But it was interesting that in reading the flyer here, opposed to why they switched several months ago, and what was offered, there are some things that are more enticing, shall we say, back then for them to make the switch. And I think one of the things that you're addressing is the 3 years. So it gives you some sense of what will you be paying, because that's always the fear. How much will it go up and how fast will I be able to react to it or change out of it, get out of the contract? I think people look for immediate savings, even if it's a year. They're willing to switch from year to year because in this economy, if you can save me a couple $100 this year and I switch back next year, I'll do that. And I think they're willing to do that. And obviously they have. On your flyer, there was just one thing I noticed, and it says in bold in the center, TV and internet package is now available. That's on the bottom portion of the flyer. And on the top portion, and I didn't catch this, they did, it's blank. There's nothing there. I don't know if it should say, the same type of thing, that to have consistency. I don't know if that was left out intentionally. That's something, again, they caught, I didn't. But it is just a concern. I think Councilmember Ibarra, I've echoed this before, and I'll say it again, is that I think our engagement in the community to show our local, what we can do, what we have done, and we should be engaged in the various aspects of the community, because in essence, back then, and I'm going to go back to the old days, is you knew that the cable department was engaged in the community, gave back to the community, so your subscription and participation in that helped the community, helped the youth programs, helped all those activities and the sponsorships that they've had. And I know things have changed, and there's different processes or promotions that we're going differently. But I think, again, in these hard times, back to basics is not a bad thing. So I would encourage, I'm also going to say I had some calls on the door-to-door, which were folks that came there, and they were not complimentary whatsoever, and not by one or two. So, one person calls you, two persons, when you start getting to four, and they're making a call to me, that concerns me. So,
Do you have cable?
I have cable. No, they didn't come to me. Talking about calls from residents who experienced them, and honestly, one called, I'm understanding the department, because they were saying this person can't be working for the department. They were very taken back and concerned about who was at the door, and the way they represented themselves and their image. And the image represents us. So if we're going to have somebody going door to door, let's make sure they have the standards and the expectations that we have as an organization, as a company, and as a city. And how do you feel that this is going to, in this short time with this drive, what makes you think that we're going to get better results here than we did on this other campaign?
I think part of the reason we were not as successful in the last campaign was because of the offer itself. The offer itself was not very attractive compared to what was out in the market. So we looked at that seriously and said, what is it that customers are really looking for? I mean, like Steve said in his report, looking for a low entry price point, guaranteed that the price is not going to go up steeply over the long term. So we looked at all those different factors and then developed a new campaign based on that. So we think that with the change in the offer, we think we're going to see some success. And by doing a direct mail piece, we wanted to make sure that test the market and see how that the offer is going to be accepted by customers. And then if the customers are ready to switch, we can get that customer at a low price point versus paying for a door-to-door campaign. So once we've done the initial pass-through and gotten as many customers as we can through the direct mail piece, then we can go back and actually do a door-to-door and try to get the remaining customers. So in this first phase, we're going to hit all the customers that are currently non-cable customers that only have internet service, et cetera, to get that base up first. So that's sort of the strategy that we're pursuing this time around. And just to address some of the concerns about cable's presence in the community, we try to actively participate in the Operation Clean Sweep and other events as well. We continue to sponsor sporting teams and local charities as much as we can, given our policy. So we'll continue to do those type of efforts, and we'll continue to continue that into the future as well.
I got one thing else to add. I'm no marketing guru or anything, but when I look at these flyers, and every time that I've seen how we're marketing San Bruno Cable, there's so much information. It's like you're trying to put so much on these flyers, and it just ends up being a bunch of numbers. I mean, go for the throat. Go say, AT&T, you're paying this much for AT&T, we're offering you this. This is how much you're paying for this. This is what we're... Get them to see it. I mean, just by saying, come back to San Bruno, it's like, why? I mean, you've got all these prices on there. You know, how does that... And I know that it's difficult to compare apples to apples with all of these other providers.
I mean, I truly appreciate the
Yeah.
feedback, Councilmember
Yeah.
Ibarra, because that's exactly what I'm looking for in terms of direction in
Yeah.
when how we conduct our campaigns. And until now and until recently, a lot of our campaigns have been very passive, so to speak, and we talk about promoting what we have versus, you know, competing against the competitor type of thing. We've really not taken that position, but with your direction, you know, we can expand the way we promote our services.
Because the commercials don't tell you anything. They're just
Yeah.
really monotonous and everything, but they get that one price, that one thing that they're offering, and they keep throwing that at you. And that's what grabs the people that at least, you know, inquire or make the
Right.
call. I think that's what we gotta do, is that just
We appreciate the feedback, and we'll look into doing that.
grassroots, just
Yeah. And
compare
also
with what
improving-
they're doing and undercut them.
Yeah, and also improving materials as well, trying to make it more classy in terms of marketing
Yeah.
materials as well.
Sounds like Councilmember Ibarra might want to go door to door for you.
My daughter left.
Irene, anything?
Sorry.
Oh, we talked long and hard about the issues that you brought up, and I know the flyer that you have in front of you is not the final flyer. Some of the information is not even correct of what we just heard. So maybe you could, when you get down to when you're choosing the final thing, shoot us all a copy, and we can all, not that you have to listen, but we can put our 2 cents worth in, because sometimes it's always better to have another eye sometimes to
Absolutely.
see what's going on.
Trying to sell us.
Well, it's a difficult game. The companies out there are, you know, they have huge customer base. We have a very limited one. They have a huge budget for advertising, for marketing, for all those things. And if one thing doesn't work, they immediately switch to something else. So, you know, we're trying to keep this in-house. We're trying to do the best we can. We're trying things, and if it doesn't work, we switch and try something else. So I think we're responding, and all the input we give and all the input you're giving makes a better product. So.
Michael, any comments on 10C?
No.
Okay.
Okay.
Irene is right. We sit in these cable meetings long and hard and try to figure all of this out. You know, we're not a national firm where we can do loss leaders and throw people into the fold and just tease them in the beginning with some cheap rates and then find out that they're in a contract and going to get burned later. So we're trying in a very nice way to sell our own product, which in fact is you know, putting monies in the city coffers, by the way. And so it's compared to where we were a number of years ago. We had cable TV, and then cable TV expanded. We have high definition TV. We have VoIP. We have internet access. You know, it's a great system. And the fact that you can pick up the phone and have a technician there free of charge is huge. So all of these things are difficult to explain in a flyer. A lot of them are difficult to explain with an outside source knocking on your door. But I think you have some direction tonight as to how you can fine-tune what you're proposing. Good. Having said that, is there a, Irene?
Oh, thank you. I just had a thought, and I was noticing on this, we don't have the city logo on this. Is that something we should consider? Maybe on the other side? I mean,
Sure.
it is City of San Bruno. We have it on and everything else.
Right.
Maybe that would be.
Through the chair,
I
this was
don't
a
know.
while ago, but I thought that there, and way before my time, but there was a lot of dialogue, and they came up with, the city had their own, cable department had their own emblem, which was different than the city's logo.
yes.
And I remember that, and I remember watching it on TV or being in the audience, and it was you maybe were.
No,
but
I
it
wasn't here for that one.
No, so it goes back a ways. Wow. So, but yeah, it was purposely done. I think that they were trying to, at that time. Now, that was then, this is now. So we can change anything.
I'm not suggesting that we do away with the San Bruno Cable logo. I'm suggesting we add the San Bruno City logo. And maybe, if you have no plans for the other side of the flyer, maybe it should be on one side of the flyer or someplace. I don't know. Something to think about.
All right.
I'd like the
Anything
mayor's
else?
face on the
No,
flyer,
no.
too.
I'll do one special just for you.
Well, with that, I'll introduce the resolution.
Councilmember O'Connell.
Aye.
Councilmember Medina.
Aye.
Councilmember Ibera.
Aye.
Vice Mayor Salazar.
Aye.
Mayor Ruane.
Aye.